Hi, welcome to the Stock Show. My name's Pam Meskel and I'm a team lead for the photo and video support group here at the Stock Show. This is online training for those who will be doing note-taking or taking pictures for the trade show. So is your camera all set up?
Yes, I have a empty flash card, have the right settings. I checked them in the office earlier.
Thanks very much.
That's great.
And we just came in here and this is where we're going to start. So here's our list and we want to get 2 pictures of this space. I'm going to go ahead and write your name here as photographer and my name as note taker, and I'll put today's date so that we can reference back to these pictures when they have to be labeled.
But shouldn't we take a picture of the space number before we take the pictures of the booth?
Yes, correct, exactly. So here, I will point to this right here.
The trade show photographer should always attempt to get as much of the vendor booth as possible in the 2 images required. The most commonly used technique for accomplishing this is to line up and shoot from the left and right sides of the booth. Look for the vendor sign and, if possible, include it in one of the shots. Here, while standing in line with the left side of the vendor booth allows the entire booth to be captured, it is not possible to see the vendor sign at the back of the booth. The final collection of images for this vendor booth are 1. An image of the vendor space number, 2. An image capturing the booth from the left-hand side, and 3. An image capturing the booth from the right-hand side.
I got the picture. Do we get it checked off?
Okay, yep, I am checking it off and I'm looking at the next one on our list and it's right over here. Okay, this is our booth right here. Here's the booth number. And then it encompasses these 2 pieces of equipment. So it's open on all sides. So you could actually take from any angle. Well, their sign is over here.
Okay.
So if we could get the sign or this sign in at least one of the pictures.
Okay.
Trade show assignment tip. Try to fill the entire viewfinder with the vendor booth. That means framing each image to include part or all of the booth from left to right, as well as from top to bottom. Trade show assignment tip. All trade show photographs must be captured in landscape format only. The final collection of images for this vendor booth are 1. An image of the vendor space number, 2. An image capturing the booth from one side, and 3. An image capturing the booth from a different side.
Where are we heading to next?
Okay, so this coffee one is next on our list, and there's a bunch of people standing there, but maybe if they clear quickly,
Okay.
we'll see if we can't get it. So here, let's take the number. And then we'll just have to watch so we can see the booth without it being totally obscured by people.
Okay. That makes
So-
sense because that's all we care about is what the booth looks like.
Right.
But the training said that we can have some people
Yeah.
in there.
Trade show assignment tip. Sometimes when a vendor booth is not too large, it is best to capture one of the images of it from straight on. The final collection of images for this vendor booth are 1. An image of the vendor space number, 2. An image capturing the booth straight on, and 3. An image capturing the booth from the right-hand side.
Great. And hey, look at that. Isn't that cute?
Yes.
Yeah, we get to see lots of things while we're out here taking pictures.
For sure. But I have a question about what I noticed on your clipboard that you have an area for retakes. What does that mean?
Well, so a lot of times people aren't quite sure what we're really trying to get at when we take the pictures. And in an area like this, it's narrow and it gets crowded. So a lot of time, you know, the bottom half of the booth gets cut off in the pictures and we don't want that to happen. So we still have to get the entire booth in, even if it's difficult.
Okay.
So that's hard in this area, and also a lot of traffic coming through makes it difficult. So we
Okay.
just have to be patient and
Okay.
wait for people to move out of the way. Okay, so this is going to be our next booth, and I'm going to go let her know that we're taking the picture. So we're here from the trade show office.
Yeah.
And we take 2 pictures of every single vendor that's here this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so for internal purposes. So we're going to get a couple pictures of your booth.
Okay.
Okay. And you can either stay in it or move out. It's up to you.
Okay.
But you look great.
Awesome.
So
Well, thank
if you're
you.
happy to stay in it, that's good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Trade show assignment tip. For capturing a very long vendor booth in a confined space, a wide-angle lens can be helpful. Capturing this vendor booth without a wide-angle lens and with limited space means the resulting image is too close.
Oh, Kathy, the sign is over on this side.
Oh, okay. Well, I can get it in this shot.
Trade show assignment tip. Be sure to do an in-camera review before moving to the next vendor booth. There should only be 3 images total for each vendor booth in your camera.
So what have you learned through the process?
Well,
What things will you take away from this for next time?
as a photographer, I've learned that it's key to make sure your image is focused and well lit. In the dark areas, I turn on my flash so that I can get a little more light in the picture. But definitely composition-wise, I want to get as much of the booth in as I can, not too much ceiling or floor. And if I can get both sides in, that's perfect. But of course, these booths are all different. Some of them actually don't have a wall behind them, so we have to walk around it. And then make sure that the signs in the picture, if they have a sign, if possible. Also to find out if they're ready. If the vendor isn't ready, it doesn't make any sense to take the picture, because then I guess we have to come back, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're not open, if they haven't opened yet, if they still have their curtain up, don't take a picture of that. We need them to be open. So yeah, they need to be ready, because sometimes they're like, oh, I'm not quite set up yet. Can you come back later? And we graciously say, yes, we can come back later. You go ahead and finish what you need to do.
Is there anything that you write down when that happens?
I was going to say, so we have a section for notes, and if they want us to come back later because they're not ready, definitely write that down. And if they say, oh, I'll be ready on Tuesday, then you can write down to come back on Tuesday, and they should be ready to have their picture taken. Sometimes our list isn't exactly correct because things change between the time that it's made and the time that the stock show opens, or even after that. Sometimes people move to a different space, so just make a note that the name that's here isn't the people that are there and who is there, and that you've got the 2 pictures. Or if it's closed, write that down. So yeah, just make sure you check everything off and make sure you add any notes that will be helpful if we need to come back to it later.
That makes sense. And then I assume that we're going to go back to the office, and they'll take care of us when we get back there.
Yeah, we'll go back, and then you'll give whoever's at the computer your card, and they can download them into a folder so that they can be reviewed. And then hopefully all is good because you've reviewed in your camera, but if not, then we'll send someone out to take them again, and then they'll all get labeled and put in order by building, etc., and turned into the trade show office.
It's not a difficult task, but there are certain procedures in my experience as a photographer that we need to follow so that it gets done right, and so that the staff at the National Western can use them for what they need.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks very much. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video presentation. There's no place like Stock Show.